All right, so what's up, guys? So we're out here on another run, out here doing this craziness for all of you, and you know, working towards building an aesthetic body, right? One that people can sort of admire, right, or chase after, right? The one that you see in magazines, right, in Instagram posts, right, trending posts and so forth, right? That beach body, right? Summertime, people want to have those chiseled abs and nice chests, and so forth, right? Because, you know, they want to be aesthetic in appearance. And, you know, don't worry, because we are going to give you 4 tips to improve your aesthetics, right, for your workouts. So, without further ado, we're going to go into tip number 1, is that it always starts with diet, right? So many people want these crazy, shredded, amazing physiques, and they only think that they could get there by just working out so hard, right, and neglecting their diet and eating whatever they come across, junk food, fast food, so forth. And yes, it's still possible, right, to get that body and have a terrible diet, but it's gonna be a lot harder. You're gonna spend a lot more time in the gym burning stuff that, you know, you could have prevented, right? And in fact, if you would have done that, you would essentially have, you know, been able to get even more progress, right, and get better in the gym, as we got distracted by, you know, someone honking at us and so forth. So in essence, really think about that. Really think about what you're putting in your body, how your diet is concerned. And you don't have to go overboard with it, right? You don't have to go, you know, completely vegan, right? Or go keto, do all these different, you know, proven methods, right, in order to get there. Essentially, what you gotta do is keep working on yourself and putting the right things in your body. Keep striving for that. And essentially, you will be on your way to getting there, right? Getting in shape, working on that aesthetic appearance. Because, you know, that diet, it's almost like a multiplication factor of your workouts, right? Like you have your standard workout, you're doing 10 push-ups, 10 bicep curls, and, you know, some bench press. But, you know, you have that same workout, but if you're having an awesome diet, it's like you're multiplying that workout times 1.5. Have an even better diet, it's times 2. But if you have a crappy diet, it's like you're multiplying it times 0.5. You're only getting half of what you're supposed to be getting out of your workout. And from that, you really have to consider the importance of your diet, right? Use it as a tool to accentuate your gains and improve them and burn that body fat that you gotta burn in order to get there. So tip number 2 is also similar, and then it's in regards to your cardio, right? Getting that in, because cardio is so important when it comes, you know, to building those aesthetics, because it's gonna burn those carbs and body fat, right? That store all those fats and, you know, make us look bloated of sorts, right? After you run, you're gonna drain all that out of your body, even that water weight that you're holding. And, you know, for that, you're gonna get more aesthetic. You're gonna start to see more veins pop out. Right? You're gonna start to see abs form. You might even see veins on top of your abs, right? Huge goal for many. And from that, you know, people will admire your aesthetics, right? They'll look up to you. And it's by virtue of you simply, you know, adding some cardio, right? Doing some running, doing some swimming, and some biking that you need. And, you know, from that, you're gonna be on your way to burning those calories much easier, right? Because it's much easier to do that, burn that weight and calories that's needed to show those muscles through cardio than it is through other methods in the gym, right? You can lift weights and so forth, but it's not gonna get your heart rate going and your blood pumping as much as a cardio workout is. You can even hear us breathing, right? That's the whole design of it. And the more of this you can handle, the more aesthetic your body's gonna be. So once you do that, once you're able to cut and trim your body through, you know, dieting and doing the cardio, right? You got everything nice and cut and all the veins and everything is coming out. You want to think about building that muscle, and that ultimately is going to come through lifting some weight, right? Pumping some iron, right? Hitting those heavy weights, right? Getting your body accumulated to those strains, right? Those high weights. That's going to make those muscles break open and come back stronger and harder, right? And more able to handle those strains. And that's where those improvements come from, right? Through, you know, pushing your body to those limits, those, you know, ultimately walls that we come across when we work out, right? The only way to overcome them is to simply lift more weight or lift it more times. I keep breaking down that muscle further and working it harder and doing it over and over again. And what you're gonna see is the workouts start to become easier as your body becomes more acclimated to it. And when they start to become easier, your body is gonna be more bigger and more aesthetic and more like a machine, right? Because that's what it does. Your body's built to establish homeostasis. And if your homeostasis or your even playing field is you sitting at home doing nothing, it's gonna give you the body of somebody that sits at home and does nothing, right? And it may not be the most aesthetic appearance, but depending on what country you come from, it may not necessarily be the case. But if you want someone, the body, you know, of a warrior, right? A gymnast, a bodybuilder, right? Hello, someone that's able to handle these strains, right? And perform athletically and be gifted in these ways. You gotta go out and lift those weights, put in that work, right? In order to get there, in order to handle that, right? We're only as good as what we can handle, right? Is how heavy a weight you can lift, and so forth. And, you know, by doing that, by lifting those weights, you're gonna become more aesthetic, bigger, right? It's very hard to get like that without touching a weight in your life, right? By just eating and doing basic exercises. While some are quite gifted, others may not be so. So you got to really think about that. Lift those weights, and you'll be on your way to getting there and achieving that progress. So without further ado, we're gonna go to tip number 4 as far as improving your aesthetics, and this is through supplements, through the protein and the vitamins, right? Especially because the protein, especially when we're done with our workouts, when that muscle is spent, right? Your body's done. The next thing is to put protein in it to help it regenerate that muscle, right? Help it come back faster. That fuel for, you know, that fire that is your muscle, right? Your fire, you can almost think of your muscle, yeah, as a fire, right? You want to keep putting more fuel and gasoline and make it ignite and get bigger. And you don't want to let it go out, right? By ignoring it. You got to keep taming it. If something happens, a storm, right? Some water comes, you got to keep it going, right? You got to keep hitting it and hitting it over and over again. But the continuation of those hits is gonna come from your supplements, from your protein and your vitamins, right? Vitamin D for your immune system, vitamin B for your energy, and so forth, right? Supplements like those, because far too often we don't get them from our food, right? Our food can only fill our bellies, but not, you know, those storages for nutrients that we need. And almost create a void in us, right? Some people can make them feel hungry all the time, but what they need, their body is craving, is those vitamins that they're lacking. So the person might go grab a bag of chips or pretzels, but they won't be getting those same nutrients, right? And it's the cycle repeats over and over again, and they just get fat and unaesthetic. So you get the point. And you know, we hope that you enjoyed these 4 tips in order to improve your aesthetic appearance for when you work out and go to the gym and do this fitness stuff and maximize the appearance of what you get. So we say thank you very much again. Like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.